the assassin disguised as a waitress. Prepare for rescue. The VIP is being held in the hotel room, but just arrived at the door. She was stopped by two mercenaries. A man came forward to examine him very carefully. But there's no weapon at all. It was so ingeniously hidden at the bottom of the food cart. After confirming you're not carrying dangerous items, two soldiers still can't get in and push themselves. Service to the room. The moment the door opened, the assassin immediately observed the situation inside. In a split second, she found out there were more hostages than expected. It's not just Japanese VIP guests. There's also hostages from South Korea and many other countries before the situation is so complicated. You realize if you act now, the possibility of 7 failures I have temporarily abandoned the original plan. But for superiors, the #1 priority is still rescuing the Japanese VIP. So Captain Kusaka decided to continue the campaign. With a continuous alarm via wireless radios. Choose to obey orders. The two guards at the door were quickly defeated. But as soon as the rope pushed the door out, what appears in front of you is a bomb. It's rigged with an explosion. It makes the rules. I knew immediately that everything was out of control. She quickly drew the fixed gun to her thigh and used the power of the elevator door to climb out. When you see the rope is still alive, the heart is hanging. Her suspension is finally loosened. Just in time to save someone. She was suddenly blocked by someone. That person is Dong Jinman. Surprisingly close to the heart of the... It's always cold and insensitive. First time throbbing charm ghost. Quickly take the injured wire to safety and threw a smoke grenade inside the room. They think the enemy has been destroyed. But only a second later, the two mercenaries who were hiding suddenly appeared. Each held a hostage. Face a critical situation. Jinman is very calm. On the surface, you pretend to surrender. But the secret label for coordinated action. After the crisis is over, Kusaka and Jinman officially meet. At the same time, reveal your identity. We spend time together facing death. Gradually arise special sympathy with the man who saved his comrade. She's going to ask Jinman out for a drink, but you're on a mission. Should skillfully refuse. Since that day, the name Jinman was engraved in her heart. I look forward to the day you two can meet again. But she couldn't believe that the reunion. It happens in the most ironic of circumstances. The organization gave her a mission to Korea to assassinate Jinman himself and his niece Jahan. However, before heading to Korea, I have to complete my current goal this time. Your target is a foreign man. Take advantage of your beautiful appearance. It was easy to get him to the bathroom. Wait until the enemy is completely caught off guard. You suddenly out of hand. Strangle him with a rope and hold him to the ground. The sound of the seal quickly attracted. 3 women went to the bathroom nearby. To avoid exposure, immediately raised a loud shout. It makes people outside. I thought you were just arguing about work. Just a few seconds later, the man is completely immobile. Complete the task of retrieving the phone eye. Carefully view the entire profile of Jinman and Jahan. In this campaign, Kusaka sent an elite team of assassins under your command. Notably, the rope is also on the team. A day later, the whole group arrived to South Korea Airport. Along the way, Jay's lukewarm attitude towards Jinman makes you very uncomfortable. Because if Jinman didn't get out in time that year, Jay was killed at the scene. Of course, Jay understands. Jinman is my lifesaver. But according to you, love in the past is closed. Now you're standing onto lines. Different identities also completely changed. After arriving at the base Babylon in Korea, Regina actively greets everyone. I rarely show my friendliness. But when the whole group walked into the dressing room, they suddenly heard the water running in the bathroom. When you open the door to the person who is bathing, it is Give your hand to say hello. But barely just because you're a woman that coldly ignores. Right after that, Kusaka informed the entire combat team about the Jinman stole the organization's service. Although it is very likely that Jinman the armistice agreement and not publish the data in the server. But for Babylon, there's only a 0.1% risk of information leakage. The organization is also absolutely formerly shopping mall assassin to Jinman. Construction has always been an important source of finance. But now the system is shut down. So Kusaka came up with a new plan. He decided to take advantage of the system Jinman once created to secretly develop an APP, a completely new killer. This APP works. It's like an underground arms market. The old rules laid down by Jinman have all been changed. It makes the use much freer. The most important aspect of this application, absolutely not any connection to the Babylonian organization. And Jinman's biggest weakness is his niece. Jahan just need the number of people using the APP reach a certain scale. Babylon will immediately reward you. Jane, until then. To protect my niece, Jinman will have to reveal himself. In addition to the team of assassins led by Bal, he will also officially participate in the campaign. This time. Before officially starting the mission, Kusaka decides to test Bal's loyalty. As long as he shows any resistance, the organization will be eliminated without hesitation. There are 2 bands in Korea. The gangster party is constantly clashing to compete. The mission area of rules and team is to take Bal, penetrating in the middle of the war and wipe out both South Korean-run factions. Guns are very strict, so in this campaign, they all have to fight with close quarters weapons. At the same time, the 2 gangs are still talking back and forth. 4 assassins slowly step onto the stage. Soon after by pair, the same killer appeared at the entrance. In front of everyone's confused eyes, the strings play a piece of music with the beat. When the music is playing, one-way surveillance also officially began despite the number of pressure in front of trained assassins. The gangsters are completely incapable of fighting back. This is simply a bar. I'm not nervous at all. But during the battle, Valet stood still in place and did not act until Qui speak up and order him to start acting. In the blink of an eye, Bales have shown tremendous fighting power. He and his team have to look at him through different eyes. However, Valets completely ignore the coordinated tactics. Just act according to your will. Extremely annoying Stringsbell. Understand that today the organization won't be easy to let go. If you can't avoid death, he decided before he died, you have to take as many enemies as possible. Just when the situation is getting out of control, unexpected rules orders stop hand by Kusaka just gave a new command. Want to catch a live? Jinman is Bal. It's an indispensable card. This is the last time. No longer despise the rules. He gave his hand. Shaking hands, she temporarily accepts cooperation. Meanwhile, the shopping app, Babylon's Forgery, was launched not long ago. Jean accidentally found it on Eugene's phone. That moment, Jean began to doubt Eugene's true identity. After returning home, I was going to tell this to my uncle Jinman. But at the same time, the camera, monitoring Ray recording image, Eugene appeared at the door. Eugene wanted to explain, but Jean doesn't want to hear a word from you. She packed her bags and left again. But think again, Jahan. He decided to investigate Eugene's condition first. She opened the backpack that Jongmin had prepared before, take out some micro cameras, and then secretly put it around Eugene's boat and residence. After you have arranged everything, download the KI Killer app on the machine. As soon as you open the login interface, she was immediately stunned, except the characteristic blue code sequence is gone. The entire interface of the application, almost the same system Jinman used to build. Without any further delay, instant messaging for Jongmin to announce this discovery. As soon as she sent the message, she found Eugene seemed to be about to sail, so immediately secretly followed. It turns out Eugene's trip is to meet an old man who takes immigrant children. A legal entry into Korea. One of them was an injured girl. While crossing the sea, to avoid trouble, the old man tried to throw the baby into the sea, but Eugene didn't hesitate and rushed to save her. I can't believe he took the opportunity to attack. Sneaking from behind, at the right time, Jean suddenly appeared and threw a kick that knocked him down. Then quickly first aid her. After returning to the shore, Yongbin sent a message saying that the KI app is completely not developed by them, and we're now fully investigating its origins. Meanwhile, John learns the truth from himself. Eugene is. So you're secretly bringing these kids into Korea? Not to make money. I just want to help them be reunited with their parents. There are many types of visas in Korea. Labor only allows parents to enter, and the kids weren't allowed to go. So Eugene? Many times risky. Sailing out to help families get reunited. Even the gun that Jean saw you throw into the sea. It's just a commodity. But the captain she knocked out asked him to transport. From beginning to end, Eugene had no idea what was inside. But Jean still doesn't quite believe it. To verify your identity, you find the fishermen, people on the island, and ask about Eugene's past. What she heard made her look. Jean completely changed. Turned out, Eugene is a child. Orphans from a young age are proudly carried by the villagers for each meal. Over the years, people on the island, they all see you as a child in the family. These words make Jean came to believe that Eugene's probably just an honest guy. But is the truth that simple? This is also the first time Jean took the initiative to invite Eugene to the house for dinner. As we spend more and more time together, I finally told you the secret. That you're being hunted by the whole world of assassins. You two choose to be honest with each other. Also remove the entire camera, monitoring every secret installed around. Eugene, the distance between them was getting shorter. To the end, they both hold hands. It's as if you have full faith in the enemy. But at the same time, the trust was being built. A new danger is quietly approaching. Because of a huge bounty, a police team, play a bar from abroad. Locked target is Jean. The first thing they did was find the captain. He told me where Jean lives. That night when Jean and Eugene. When we got home, the assassins showed up. Jean immediately pulled Eugene. Running inside, she broke the pot in front of the door. Take out the secret control hidden inside. Right after that, Jean leads Eugene into the secret base under the house. Until now, Eugene knew that underneath that ordinary house was hidden. Hide a solid bunker. No time to explain. Attentive time monitor monitoring screen. As long as the killer enters the scope of the trap, you will immediately activate the system. There was an explosion, and the killer died on the spot. So fast that the Johan himself couldn't react. When I put my head in check, the person in front of you is Minute. He had lost contact for a long time. The captain's mission. The goal of this campaign is to capture Jinman alive. But prepare, again bluntly, warning that if the rope dares to hinder his plan, he will also be dealt with mercilessly. It should have been a warning. It must be fully translated. But because of the limited capacity, translation has not been able to convey the true intention. According to the original plan, people directly. It should be that way, but because Jay has a special relationship with Kusaka. Kusaka is also worried that she will soften her heart in the face of, so she finally decided to give Jay the reins. Jay is the younger brother of his father. With someone as dangerous as Ballet, you can't understand because Isao Kusaka let your brother work with a murderer. They can lose control at any time. Under the guidance of a mechanical dog, the assassin quickly approached the target. But in time, the machine dog just arrived at the designated location. A series of deployment is immediately activated. The killer continues, and then suddenly there was a shot. It caught everyone's attention right after that. A smoke grenade thrown from behind. The thick smoke quickly covered the entire area. Look hidden. That the assassins immediately realized that they had fallen into. But by the time they react, it's too late. The drone immediately lowered its altitude too, dispelling the smoke. But the team was now almost completely destroyed. In the other direction, the same team of rope continues to surround Ku. Detector. There's a very strong electromagnetic signal around. The container next door suddenly opened. Just a quick glance at a bale. I knew this was a trap. Jinman prepared in advance. However, he decided to check in. At the right time, let the machine start to cut the container door of Jinman quietly climbed up from the opposite side, and a surprise attack from the VA. Extremely strong made the translator completely incapable of fighting on the battlefield right now. There's only 3 left and the rope continues to chase. At a fork, 2 people signal and search for each other. The rope has just taken a few steps. Jinman suddenly low eye from the hidden corner. Jinman. I quickly realized that this was the Japanese. That years ago you saved the life of the wire. Is to catch Jinman alive. And because of that, I have no intention of killing you. At the right time. Suddenly, he appeared without hesitation. He 5 continued. Shots towards Jinman. I want to take your life on the spot. To stop but Bailey. Absolutely no mercy. I watched the rope fall in front of me. Kusaka red eyes for pain. But very quickly after that, she came up with a perfect plan to blame all sins on Jinman. Jinman stepped onto the roof of a container, deliberately moving right in front of the balloon's eye. You didn't run away. You waited for the balloon to climb. Then, Jinman slowly put on his night vision glasses and pressed the switch. At a glance, closed container door. The whole space inside goes dark. An aerial reconnaissance drone was also shot down in Osaka. Immediately command the sniper team to move towards 10 o'clock to stop the truck that's carrying the container inside. Ballet and Jinman plunge into the battle of life and death ale. Extremely confident. Believe that, if only close combat. Jinman is absolutely not his opponent. But he didn't know that from beginning to end. Jinman is only leading the match as he sees fit. Jinman deliberately let Ballet smash the night vision glasses. I thought I could just steal the glasses. He will completely control the darkness. But the next second Jinman attacked. The secret bomb was planted inside the glass. The violent explosion immediately ended the failure. The last boss of the first season. It ended in a way no one expected. Ballet's death also meant a manhunt. Jinman officially 7 defeat. After the Battle of Kusaka, asked the police if the whole thing is going on. Is it recorded or not? Knowing there is no complete record, she immediately ordered everyone to leave. He wiped out all images of the battle himself. Just keep the piece of Jinman fighting with the rope. Her goal is to pour out her entire death. Rope on top Jinman. He believes that Jinman killed his brother. It breeds hatred. To turn it into a flag for the next plan. The employees know the truth. Kusaka has also prepared a way to block clues. While you still don't know. My brother was killed. You're leading a team. Another assassin boarded a boat and headed to the island to catch the thief. From Eugene Fisherman's Beach. When you see that scene, you know something is wrong. I was going to tell Jean, but then Jean is packing luggage in the room, so I don't answer the phone. There's no other way. Eugene hurried his motorcycle at full speed to her house. Via UAV. Scouting rules discovered around the house. Jean had a lot of people gathered. But to complete the mission, you're ready to destroy all the OIs that stand in your way. As long as you catch Jahan. Eugene was the first to arrive. After learning that the assassin's team had approached the I decided to let Eugene take it. Jahan go to the port first. And you and the fat guy stay behind. Not long after, your commandos are at the front door. Jahan they quickly split into 2 noses, surrounded from many directions. But that didn't stop Eugene. Take Jean to the trail behind the mountain. Fat guy climbs the wall. Continuous fire support. The crew retreated without knowing it above their heads. An armed UAV is quietly closing in. Just in time for the explosion. A member of the hit squad spotted by UAV. Scout. That there's a motorcycle. It's speeding towards the harbor. I noticed that the motorcycle was speeding towards the harbor. Immediately leaves a nest that continues to attack the house. He leads the rest in pursuit. A group of assassins carrying the riot shield broke into the house first. But we've just taken a few steps. A series of gunshots. Surprise echoed from the floor below the team. They immediately fired bullets through the floor. But Min here. He left his position a long time ago, quietly round to the side and suddenly counterattacked. Meanwhile, the army under your command caught up with Jahan. Behind him is a relentless killer. There was an armed UAV on top of the target. Eugene and Jean are in unprecedented danger. The drone hurried towards Jean. But in the blink of an eye, he was shot up in the air at the wrong time. Behind the rules suddenly echoed the intense gunfire. He arrived in time for backup. Both sides immediately fired machine guns, however. They're both hiding behind protective glass. The bullet should be in. No AI can defeat the enemy. On the other side, Eugene almost got Jean to the harbor. But at the moment of the decision, suddenly pulled the trigger. The bullet FLIs accurately through the wheel of the motorcycle, causing both to lose control. He walks slowly towards Jean. Then they point to the ship they're going to board. In front of a desperate situation. Eugene didn't hesitate. Right in front of Jean. But you didn't kill me right away. You took my life. Eugene to force Jean to obey. Follow me. At the same time, both are about to be arrested, and he appeared again. There are still too many enemies around. You don't have time for QX. Give it quickly. Eugene and Jean board the cargo ship to retreat. All three thought they were finally out of the woods. I wonder if Q is still alive. She immediately launched. The motorcycle rushed straight towards Eugene's ship. On board, two female assassins plunge into a decisive battle. The power of both is almost equal. No one can afford to see that. Jean immediately said. Eugene turned to the left. Thanks to inertia, the turtle is thrown close to the edge of the ship. He did not give up the idea of living. On his orders, the soldiers are hiding under the sea. Immediately control one unmanned dinghy filled with explosives, heading towards the ship at the same time. The two speedboats are also approaching from both directions. Until it was too late to notice anything unusual. A heavy machine gun locked onto the target. After just a few attacks on Eugene's ship, turned into a pile of holes for bullets. In the midst of chaos, Eugene was shot in the stomach. In the last moments of my life, I watched Jean and finally asked what I always wanted to know. And then Eugene collapsed in front of her. The man who had been suspected by Jean. Many times I thought I was the bad guy. It turns out from the beginning to the end. Silently protect her with her own life. Eugene's death was also the moment. Jean is really mature. She lifted her head to the sky. I cried and called out Jinman's name 3 times. And after the third call, the man actually appeared in front of her. I can see Jean is safe. Jinman finally breathed in relief.